I'm a fan of Derek and his movies. We met, and then we legitimately took a maybe 4.5 to 5 hour walk. I didn't know what was gonna come out of like the talk, and like 6 to 9 months later, I hear from him again. He's like, "Hey, so I wrote this thing, and I wrote it for you. And it's a thing I've been thinking about. It's a story that I've been tracking, and like I wrote this thing for you. I hope you like it and want to do it." And I read it, and that's how it started. For better or worse, like this movie is a true story told by someone that is unbelievably brilliant at lying. I've seen a lot of his movies, obviously, and like I'm such a fan, and like you don't know why you're a fan of someone other than like what they make, you know. And then you meet him, and then you love him as like a person, and he wanted things to be very, very, very viscerally real, as much as it could possibly be real. He would try to put you in a real situation that character has to like deal with. We shot in Charlotte, North Carolina, exactly where this event took place. As close to the actual real place that the real events happened in as absolute possible. In Chasing the Ghost, he tries to put not just ghosts, but like as you know, these traces of reality inside of the movie, and like doesn't try to like point them out. He's not trying to be like, "Hey, look how clever I am." It's just more for him, and honoring the story, I think, and honoring the people that actually like experience this. He tries to make it as new and as like fresh, because he wants the authenticity of you figuring it out, like, because that's what life is in a lot of ways. Like, you're just constantly seeing everything for the first time at all times. Kirsten, man, like, it seems effortless. Like, she's just so good. Like, she's just so good. And it's not effortless. Like, you know, she does care. Like, she's not just like whatever. But she just does it, man. Like, she just does it in a way that you almost don't even. She's like a. There's almost like a magic that's happening, like that you don't even know what's happening to you. You're just sort of like in her aura. I don't think I even knew who Jeff was and how to play him. And LaKeith helped me a lot in just him holding like who LaKeith is, because like LaKeith is so powerful, like really, 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 really unbelievably powerful of a human. And it was so easy to just be next to him in a scene and feel like I wanted to listen to anything he had to say. I think Peter steals this movie. I absolutely think Peter steals this film. He somehow, because it's such a hard role to play, because you're like the bad guy, I guess. But he plays it in such a way that's so authentic, in being like you're not like the mustache twirling like person, but he plays that mustache twirl without the ick, like without it, you weirdly love him, and like also want something bad to happen to him, and like also like love him and want more of him. It's so strange. I don't know how he does it.
I'm Kirsten Dunst, and I play Leigh Wainscott in Roofman. I was sent the script, and I had met Derek in France before, and he's just someone who really cares about the acting. And so I knew that the experience would be what I, enjoy as an actress, and working with Derek was really the draw for me. Watching this film for the first time, I was so enveloped in the story. I had so much joy watching it. It's kind of done in a way that movies aren't really made anymore. It makes you laugh, and it's definitely, but everything feels very grounded. So you don't really feel like you're watching so much acting. You really feel like you're watching people connect in this real life that we're experiencing with Jeffrey. I think Leigh is, someone who, she's kind of like a feisty Southern woman who has 2 kids and she's divorced and she found community in her church and she's very involved in that. And I think she's just trying to do it all as kind of a single mother. And she's doing it. And Jeffrey's a real surprise in her life, I think, and very unexpected. And so, how love is. I think Leigh is a good mother, strong, just trying to do everything right by her girls. I think that when they first meet, she's obviously intrigued, and it's a natural chemistry that happens. And also, that's the last thing you think, is that the person that you're dating is, an escaped convict. So your mind doesn't really go there. And I think she starts to piece together little things, but also when you have that feeling towards someone, that's the last thing. You don't want to trust that gut inside of yourself, but it just keeps pushing through, Inside of her, she knows that something's off. Whenever you take on a role, you want it to be as believable as possible and not see acting when you watch someone act, I think is the goal. And so for me, I wanted to make Leigh feel as real as possible. The last scene of the film, we only did 2 takes. He shot us at the same time. And I love how Derek really wants to capture the essence, the mistakes, all the things that make people real human beings. We could try anything. Derek creates a very, very focused and comfortable environment for an actor to really let down their guard and be emotionally available. Derek likes to create a really authentic presence in the film. He knows that all the elements matter. I was really impressed by Channing's dedication. I don't think he's never done anything like this before. And I think that the trust between him and Derek, I know they had so many conversations and walks together, and I think that he really went to places that he hasn't done before in a film. And so I was really impressed and really loved being a part of that with him. He really trusted me, and I really trusted him. Reading the script, I thought, what a great role for Channing. I just was like, he's going to crush this, because he also has the dancer aspect in him that is really, for moving into the spaces of Toys R Us and escaping prison and all of that, gives him an elegance and an old school Hollywood feeling almost in the way he maneuvers through those things. So when I read the script, I thought, oh yeah, he's so good to play this role. And then, and is such a genuinely nice person and good person. You root for the guy that's stealing the money, It does feel like a movie, yeah, you can take everybody, all your family, and they'll all enjoy it. Because it's the kind of movie that appeals to everyone. Because you have Derek C. in France, so it's cool, and the music's great, and it's shot great, and the acting's well done, but it's like wrapped up in a really big package, which you don't really get those 2 things intersecting so often in an authentic way.
That's what I love about what I do for a living, finding new stories, being introduced to new stories, and now that I know about it and I've read about it, obviously, since becoming part of the film, it's such a fascinating story. And he was involved in the filmmaking. Channing, they talked to each other, and Derek did as well. And to have that first-hand conversation with the inspiration is invaluable. I just think it's what Derek does best is he gets very personal with each of the characters. He follows the heart. So at the core of this, if I'm going to call it anything, it's a love story, because there's really nothing without the love story in comedy or drama, because without love, there's nothing to risk. And with great risk comes all the inevitable pitfalls and downfalls and highs and lows. Kirsten's always been one of my favorite actresses. The choices she makes are just incredible. I've been such a huge fan, and it was such an honor to work with her finally. Channing, he was just an extraordinary actor. He has such a grace to him, and I find that being a dancer, that physicality already in place, and it behooves the acting side of it so much, because so much of what we do visually, physically, romantically is with the body, and Channing just knows how to do that so well, and with grace, and he's just like sort of an open heart. He's an open-hearted person, and funny too. He's unlike anybody I've ever worked with, Derek. He's one of my favorite filmmakers before I met him. His films are just, they're a cut above, because they're what I love in movies. It's more of a streamlined narrative, and more, dare you say, humorous. And he just has such confidence in you being there, and joy that he loves actors, and he trusts us just as much as we trust him, and that's the only dance you can ask for as an actor. There's nothing better than sitting next to a stranger and having that commonality of enjoyment.